What's up, guys? The crypto markets are absolutely going crazy right now. I'm literally at the point where I'm refreshing my screen and I'm watching my money literally just grow. All right. So it's amazing to really realize that we're at the beginning of this thing. And it's just super exciting times given the crazy bear markets that we made it through. So I'm going to show you all exactly how to take advantage of these opportunities. The money has never been easier to make right now in crypto, in my opinion. I'm going to show you exactly how to get that money, and I'm going to show you how to mitigate your risk. The biggest mistake you can make is not know how to mitigate your risk to where you don't even have to. You can actually expose yourself to these runs without having any downside, guys. Almost no risk. I didn't know this at first, but you know, now I know, and I want to show you how to do the same. If you like this content, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to get more videos, hit that bell notification to get those immediately. When I'm doing things like trading, if you don't get those videos immediately, you might miss the trade, like the Avax trade we did maybe a week or so ago. Now, with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. First, I want to do I want to simplify the way we look at these markets to the most baby understanding. Let's talk like we're 10 years old, 12 years old. Okay. I don't think we have to overcomplicate things while we're in these type of markets that are so, just so healthy, right? So this is the Wall Street cheat sheet, right? The Wall Street cheat sheet, it depicts exactly how a market cycle plays out. I want to go to the crypto total 3 and let's look at what it looks like, right? Let's just look at the picture, guys. Look at this picture and look at the crypto total 3, which is all altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. It literally looks the exact same. Now, this is very powerful to understand that even during this previous bull cycle, we had a black swan event with COVID, and the freaking chart looks the same. It recovered and still did the same thing. COVID made it do some weird stuff, but it still looked the same, right? So it's very important to understand that, right? Now, let's take a step forward, because now that we're looking at the total 3, let's look at this orange line that I've drawn on the Wall Street cheat sheet, right? This orange line is simply a trend coming from the first high out of the crash, right? The first high of the crash to the lower high right after. Okay. And that's how we get the trend. So this high, lower high to this high, right? And we get a trend. And what you can see is we eventually retest that trend right at the depression stage. We come out, we break that trend, we retest the trend, and we break out into the disbelief stage. So notice once we cross back over this orange line, we're out of the depression stage and in the disbelief stage. Let's do the same thing on the crypto total 3. All right. This is very fascinating stuff. And it's just amazing how this is playing out. So same thing. We go from the lower high to the next lower high. We establish a trend here. Let's zoom in. After we establish our trend, we break out. Then the Wall Street cheat sheet would mark this as the depression phase, and we're going into the disbelief phase, right? So we are breaking right through, retest all the way out. Now notice this is the crypto total 3. This is all altcoins. Very powerful to really understand that that's all altcoins behaving this way, right? Now, after we break out of the depression stage into the disbelief, you can see something like, let's take a look at the Avax chart. Take a look at Avax. We see the exact same thing, right? We see the exact same thing playing out on Avax. All right. But as you can see, lower high to lower high, we've got a trend. Our trend comes, we retest, we break out. Okay. And now the thing is just flying. Now, this is what's interesting. The total 3 is the average of all of the altcoins. This chart is showing market behavior, which actually matches the total 3 perfectly. But the total 3 is the average. And when we see this play out over the altcoins, it's actually happening at different times. So you can front run all of the altcoins, right? So that's the first thing to understand, is that right now when you're buying, guys, I know you want to buy the thing that's getting all the hype, but you want to buy the things that are on the retest. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it so that you can be even more safe to where you just have upside potential, right? So Avax, I wouldn't necessarily want to do this strategy on Avax right now because it's already running, guys. Okay, it's just running. It's simply running, guys. Now let's go to Solana. Solana, same thing. Lower high to lower high. Boom. We do our retest. We break out. Okay, there you go. So with those two charts, you can see we're looking like we're getting close to the disbelief phase. Now, this is very important to look at. Let's go to Mana Decentraland. Mana Decentraland, as you know, I put $10,000 in Mana Decentraland yesterday, sometime yesterday, probably 2 days ago. You know, I've been sleeping not that much, right? So with that being said, we come here, we got the same thing, lower high to lower high. We do our breakout, retest, Decentraland right in the buy zone, guys. It's perfect. That's every purchase I'm doing is just like that. I like the metaverse. I love metaverse, especially because if you're holding stocks, look at your meta stock, guys. If I'm holding Meta, it is running like crazy, and I'm telling you, Meta is the juggernaut of the stock market right now. Even when everything was looking terrible, Meta has been the juggernaut. And you better understand that when the metaverse narrative wakes up, everyone's gonna freaking go crazy. And I'm not missing the metaverse narrative, especially when we're in buy zone for the metaverse narrative. All right, same thing for Sandbox. Sandbox right in the buy zone, guys. All right, Fantom is my another layer 1 play. A lot of the layer 1s are starting to run. They're running first. Okay, so Fantom might not be in that buy zone much longer. I've stocked up on some Fantom as well. Okay, ADA in the buy zone as well. So you've got all of these in the buy zone. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to do your purchase so that you're risk free. Okay, this is how I've been doing all of my buys, guys. And sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong, but I'm always safe, right? So let's look at the Avax chart. Let's say you want to actually get an Avax. Okay, whether it's a trade or whether it's a long-term hold. Okay, you're doing our trend. Let's go back in history because a lot of the charts are at this exact moment where they're doing this retest of our trend we talked about. This is how you want to buy in so that you have no risk. As soon as I see the trend retest, I buy, right? As soon as I see we broke through the trend and our downward trend here, and we broke it through and we're retesting, I do a buy. So this is my first buy. Boom. Easy money. Now, the next thing I do, as soon as I do that purchase, I go down 5% and I do a stop loss. The reason I do this is, you know, crypto can be very volatile. It can drop 5% in 5 minutes or 5 seconds, right? So my goal is to make the worst case scenario that you know, we could get a black swan event and a new strand of COVID is here, and next thing you know, it dumps, right? So this is to make sure that you cannot lose under no circumstance more than 5% of the capital. This is very important, right? This allows you to invest bigger bags. Let's say you're holding $1,000. You really, this is all you have. You do not want to risk it, but you don't want to miss this opportunity as well. I will put $1,000. This way I can go in $1,000. I can protect myself and only participate with 5%, right? So I only lose $50 worst case, but the upside, look at the upside of where we are. Okay, I lost $50 worst case, but I more than doubled. I mean, I made 100%, 135% if it goes well. That's how you want to move, guys, especially right now with the pattern being so predictable. Okay, another thing, Bitcoin could actually dip in price. We can actually see the whole market tank. You're still safe in this scenario because your stop loss is going to hit. In the worst case, regardless of how strong Bitcoin is, regardless of why it dipped, you're still safe. Now, the next thing I do is once I watch things run, because on the retest, guys, I buy the retest because typically we see a run up quickly. As soon as you get a retest, you see 5 to 10% up, guys, in the next 15 minutes in crypto. The next 15 minutes, the next 10 minutes, the next hour, right? So the next thing I do is I move up my stop loss to entry price. And as the price runs, I just move up my stop loss. I move up my stop loss. I move up my stop loss. And then eventually I might wake up and I'm stopped out of the position, unless you want to hold these for long term. Right now, I wouldn't even trade these. Okay, I'm not trading these necessarily because these entries are so good that they're still 10x plays plus for long term holds. All right, Avax is not in that position. Sol isn't in the position, but you still see it in Mana. You still see it in Sand. You still see it in Fantom. You still see it in ADA, and you see it in a lot of other tokens, guys. So with that being said, I don't want to make this video any longer, any more complicated. Understand that we're in a very predictable time in the market when it comes to structure. When it comes to structure, regardless of what story we want to add to it, what events might happen, you know, these charts do not care about this. These cycles don't seem to have cared about COVID, right? When I look at this it's like, this is a general chart of a Wall Street cheat sheet of market cycles. How does the structure look the same even with COVID, right? It doesn't know ETFs were coming. You know, we call this the ETF pump, right? This is the ETF pump. So I guess, what do you call it? This chart suggests that it's just going to happen anyway. We call it the ETF pump. We call it the whatever we want, but this chart just says it was going to happen anyway. right. So that's powerful. I wanted to simplify. I wanted to give you all that simplified approach just so you can see how I'm moving through these markets. And if you actually do your entries like I just told you, you won't even have any risk, guys. So with that said, let me know how you like this content. Let me know if this is actually useful for you. I'm using this in real time to do purchases right now. Okay, mine I'm going to hold long term. For my layer ones, I plan to actually go into the ecosystems right after we get all of these buys and all these nice entries. I'm going to start going into the ecosystems. I'm doing that once the latecomers get here. Once the latecomers get here, guys. Layer one's already purchased. I purchased all my layer one tokens. I'm holding. I'm going into the ecosystems because they're going to be rushing into the ecosystems trying to get rich quick. And we're going to be sitting back like, yeah, go ahead, right? We're sitting back collecting cash and feeling good and looking good, guys. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.